This is Locked On Bets, the daily betting show that means business from the Locked On Podcast Network. Hosted by Lee Sterling and Kevin Rogers, they're dropping fearless picks with an inside edge to put money in your pocket. If there's action, they've got the lock. This is where smart bets start. It's Locked On Bets.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of Locked On Bets. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. And as always, we appreciate you making Locked On Bets your first listen of the day here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And also want to remind you about our YouTube channel. It's growing every day, and your support is needed. Just hit that like button on the videos, the subscribe button, and we will keep delivering all of the content for you Monday through Friday here on Locked On Bets on YouTube and also on our podcast as well, wherever you can find that on your favorite audio platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. Again, Locked On Bets, and we appreciate your support. So with all that being said, Lee, we have a loaded show today. Guess what tonight is? Week 1 of the NFL kicks off in Philadelphia, the Cowboys and the Eagles. We're going to talk about that. Also, we have some baseball plays, UFC Fight Night in Paris. And we begin, though, we're going to start the daily with a big lock in college football.
Open it, open it, open it. Lee has the key to the lock of the day.
Coming in hot out of the chute, Lee. Saturday, Oklahoma hosting Michigan. 2 Blue Bloods hooking up in Norman. Lee, who do you like here with the Sooners and the Wolverines?
So I told people at the beginning of the year, look out for Oklahoma. Why? John Mateer, the transfer quarterback from Washington State. When you get a quarterback that can run and throw the football in college football and is best when the moments are biggest, you got yourself a winner. I love the guy. Now, Michigan, true freshman quarterback, paid a lot of money in NIL money to get Bryce Underwood. I'm hearing like $10 million was his total package for however long he stays. He's got to stay, I think, at least 3 years. So, in my opinion, I watched him. I thought he was as good as advertised in their first game. I thought that they didn't show very much. He didn't run the ball once, and he can run. So, I think they're holding back on some stuff there. I love their transfer running back, Justice Haynes. Justice Haynes had 159 yards and 3 touchdowns in their win last week. And I think that's one of the reasons Alabama didn't look so good is Justice Haynes is missing. So I think that Michigan, like I said, didn't show anything here. Oklahoma won 35-3 over Illinois State, but only 103 rushing yards on 32 carries. Their offensive line, mediocre. Their receivers and running backs, decent, but not like in the past when they used to have great running backs, great receivers. You know, you think of CeeDee Lamb, you think of all the running backs through the years that they've had. But I'm not seeing it. They're good, but not great here. And I think Michigan's offensive line and defensive line, which at times can be absolutely dominating. Remember, they went into Ohio State and won that game last year, at the end of the year. I think they can control the line of scrimmage. I think 5.5 points is way too much here. I think this is a game that's going to come down to the wire. I think Michigan will win the game 24-21 here. It's going to be a level 1 lock to start the day.
Yeah, and Michigan, like you mentioned, that big win over Ohio State to close out last year, I think a real confidence boost for this team. And I guess we could put Jim Harbaugh in the past now that this team has now moved on from all of that. And Oklahoma, a lot of high expectations this year. So we'll see how things turn out. Should be a very good game on Saturday between those two teams. And Lee, yesterday, 1-1-1. Actually, excuse me. 0-2-1 on our picks. Well, first of all, the reason why I said 1-1-1 because at first when I thought about Bo Bichette, the Blue Jays scored a ton of runs, so Bo Bichette had to get some bases. Of course, he's the only guy that goes 0 for 5. I don't know anything more frustrating than your team scoring double-digit runs. Everyone gets multiple hits, and you're the one guy that goes 0 for 5.
So shocked that I couldn't watch that game. I was studying the games. I went back and watched it. I did a triple take. Thought maybe the stats were wrong. So he was the only guy that did not get not only one hit, 2 hits in the game. So just one of those days. I knew they'd hit the guy. Just, I guess, Boba Fett was, I don't know, off thinking about something, just not his night. But wow, just shocking that he couldn't get a hit or two against a pitcher we thought was going to be on the ropes, and certainly got knocked out quick.
And also, it's Zach Littell. He had a 5-0 lead in that game, and they ended up blowing it, the Reds. So Toronto came back and won that game. And the push was on the Phillies and the Brewers. Their total was 9, and this one kind of burns because Milwaukee scored 5 in the first inning, and then you got 4 runs combined the rest of the way.
Yeah. Frustrating night. Thought that, I mean, some people got the win. Maybe 25% of the people got 8.5. You got in on early. It was not 9.5 anywhere. It was 9 most of the places. So for grading purposes, we'll call it a push. And just frustrating. Just one of those nights, but I think we're going to end up okay by the end of the week.
Yeah, and the loss, I'll wear this one. Connecticut last night. When you see a score, Lee, when you're down like 7-2, 10-3 early on, you're like, this is done. Like you just have that feeling, and basically a pick'em spot. They got blown up by Chicago. We may put the WNBA to rest with the regular season ending next week, but obviously now we have more football. We'll have more football at our disposal to pick, so we could just lay that puppy down and move on from that one.
Well, if you still see something strong, you got to release it. But we got so much going on. Like I said, the NFL's back, so we got that. UFC's back. They took a week off. Felt like. It was off for a month because they really weren't in the headlines, but it's back in UFC Paris, and I'm going to have a strong pick there in this show today.
Yeah, we have still a lot more to get to. We have a college football game for Friday night. There's no games tonight. The college football, I guess, will return next week on Thursday. They wanted to give the NFL its spotlight tonight with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Also, we do have another baseball play. Or one baseball play today with Paul Skenes. He's on the mound as the Pirates look to sweep the Dodgers in Pittsburgh. Unbelievable there, where LA has really come up lame there in that series. We'll see what Skenes does. And like Lee mentioned, another UFC Fight Night in Paris. We will get to that pick, as well as the Cowboys and the Eagles kicking off the NFL season. Tomorrow you have Chiefs, Chargers, and Brazil. So the NFL coming in hot and heavy for the first few nights. So we have all of those picks coming up. It's all straight ahead right here on Locked On Bets. Tell you now about FanDuel, and we finally made it to the starting line. I guess the finish line of the offseason and the starting line of the regular season, we can call it that. The NFL season, it's here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. With the NFL starting, you know what you have in front of you. Cowboys, Eagles tonight, Chiefs, Chargers on Friday, and Brazil Sunday, a full slate, including Lions, Packers as the late kickoff, Ravens, Bills, the Sunday night game. Monday wraps up with Chicago hosting Minnesota. So plenty of games you can bet on with the sides, with the totals. You want a first half, first quarter, second half, whatever you want to do with it, and also the player props. Or if you just want to skip the game and just look way ahead, you can take a Super Bowl champion, also MVP odds. All of that is there at FanDuel. So many different choices with the NFL starting. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. As we roll on here with the Thursday edition of Locked On Bets, Lee, we have so much more to get to. College football begins on Friday this week with a pair of games, and we're going to look at a hidden gem.
To find a diamond in the rough, you need to dig a little deeper for those hidden gems.
The Maryland Terrapins had 6 interceptions against FAU in their blowout win last week to start the season. That ain't happening again. Maryland, they're a 17-point favorite against Northern Illinois coming up on Friday in College Park, and we're going to take the points with the Huskies of Northern Illinois. Now, we do remember what happened last year with Northern Illinois. They upset Notre Dame early in the season. Now, that's not the reason we're taking this game because they're a heavy dog, but Northern Illinois, they barely beat Holy Cross in their opener, 19-17. They were 13.5-point favorites in that game. Kind of oddly, in this one, there were 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the fourth quarter of that game, one by each team. So a little odd there. Not great special teams by each team, depending on which way you looked at it. But Northern Illinois is a dog. Last year, 3-1 against the spread. Last 2 years, 7-2 against the spread. So they were good in this position. Mentioned the Notre Dame upset from last year. I just don't like teams, Lee, that you are coming off a huge takeaway game, not like +2, but +6. That's a lot. 6 interceptions. That's not happening again. And I can't think Northern Illinois is that far off from FAU as far as talent. Maryland was laying, I think, 13.5 last week, laying 17 here. We're going to take the 17 on the road with Northern Illinois against Maryland coming up on Friday as our hidden gem.
Love it. I am on that side too. Why? Because I think the Maryland quarterback, true freshman quarterback, got some skills, but he has one pitch, a fastball. He throws it like 98 miles an hour, whether he's throwing a screen pass, short pass across the middle, or a bomb. And just don't think his touch there and mastery of the offense is there yet. Throws some nice passes. They were playing a horrible team. And like I said, they got those 6 turnovers. I think this line should be like 8 or 9 or 10, but not to where it's at. It's out of the stratosphere. I like that side. I know Northern Illinois is replacing a bunch of players, but it's a system. They have a coach. He knows what he's doing, knows how to teach, and don't base it. Don't have that overreaction just because they had a close game against an FCS opponent. Some of these FCS teams are very good, and every year you're going to see 3, 4, 5 of them beat Division I teams. And last week almost beat a team that was ranked to start the year, Kansas State. So I like the pick a lot. Yeah, and also if Northern Illinois had blown out Holy Cross, wouldn't feel the same way. But them struggling, I feel like now you kind of get it together the following week. Now play a Big Ten team. So we're going to go with Northern Illinois and take the points with them. So we shift over to Major League Baseball. Not a huge slate on Thursday, but whenever Paul Skenes takes the mound, it is usually must-see TV, and it's against the LA Dodgers. We'll see if the Pirates can pull off the sweep and tonight's blowout.
Oh, boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
Pirates going for the sweep of the Dodgers tonight at PNC Park. Paul Skenes on the mound. LA strikes out a bunch. So, Lee, what do you like here with the K-prop on Paul Skenes? So I haven't taken Skenes a whole lot because, you know what? He doesn't win games a whole lot. He puts his team in position to win, but this is going to be my first backing of him, and I'm going to do it a different way. So the over-under on strikeouts is 6.5, -110. The Dodgers strike out an average of 9 times per game. Baseball has changed. Guys are going to try to hit the long ball here. It's sink or swim with them. Skenes, in the times that he's faced them 3 times, struck out 8, 8, and 9 strikeouts here. He wants the sweep. The crowd's going to be pumped. Big weekend for Pittsburgh. They got Pittsburgh football. The Steelers starting off this weekend. Their huge game against the Jets where the quarterbacks flip. So I think there's going to be a really good crowd there tonight, especially for the Dodgers. So I don't know for sure if he's going to get the win here or they're going to get the sweep. But I love the over 6.5 strikeouts. He'll be at 8 or 9 again here. I think it's going to be an easy winner here for Paul Skenes over 6.5 strikeouts. Looking at some of the home numbers for Paul Skenes as far as strikeouts go, Lee, since the All-Star break, 9 against Arizona, 8 against Cincinnati, 8 against Toronto, 7 against Colorado. Those are his last few starts at home that he just mows them down. And like you mentioned, the 9 strikeouts earlier this year against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, and 3-0 win for the Pirates in that one. So he's just dominated them. And yes, he wants to close out the season on a high note. I mean, still a few weeks left, but last time he's facing the Dodgers on the season. So we shift over from baseball now to UFC Fight Night in Paris coming up on Saturday. It's an early start in the United States. I mean, out in Paris, it's a normal time start, but it's not like 3 a.m. in China, but, it's still, a noon Eastern start in Paris. So UFC Fight Night, Lee, a few weeks off, but we are back now with Bet a Little, Win a Lot.
They say you'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So bet a little, win a lot.
All right, let's head over to the Eiffel Tower, Lee. What do you like with UFC Fight Night?
All right, so we have the main event here, and it is Nasruddin the Sniper Imavov. I like him a lot. I like the nickname. He is 29 years old, 16-4, 6'3", 75-inch reach. He's fighting Kai the Natural. Don't love the nickname a whole lot. I mean, be a little more creative. Kai the Natural Barajo. Barajo's 17-1, and he is a favorite here, minus 135 favorite. The take back on Imavov is plus 110. So why is the second-rated fighter in this division an underdog to the other fighter? Well, the hype for what they call the fighting nerds. This is a training camp where they wear the glasses. You know, they don't have any lenses in them, but they wear just the rims and the big rims. They call themselves the fighting nerds, and they have just been incredible over the last 6 months. I mean, they're winning, it seems like, fight after fight. So the hype has gotten to a point where probably can't get any higher. Imavov is the better striker, in my opinion, stunning these two fighters. He's more technical. He's faster, more athletic here. I don't think Barajo can take him down here. I think Imavov can take Barajo down. So if he takes him down here, and I believe he will at least once or twice, I think he's going to wear him out and win this fight. If I had to guess, by TKO or KO, it's a 5-round fight in the third or the fourth round. So this has been just one of the craziest years I've seen in the UFC. We've seen a lot of favorites just totally mispriced. More upsets than we've ever seen before. Been a couple cards in the last month alone where we've seen 4 or 5 fighters win, and we're talking about plus 150 to plus 600 or 700. So when they're off like that, they're making a lot of money on these sports books. So, you know, it's fun to watch it, and people just love to bet favorites here. I think the wrong fighter's favorite here, and getting plus 110 and might even go up to 115, 120 by the time the fight starts at about 5:15, 5:30. We're going to go with a bet a little, win a whole lot here on Nasruddin the Sniper Imavov over Kai the Natural Barajo.
Yeah, and you've really done well with the UFC since we've come back on the air this past summer. So looking forward to this card coming up on Saturday. Got to get up, not really get up early, but at least it's not a late night card. So you have like the day where you can split your UFC watching with college football. So there's a lot going on. Very busy Saturday there with the UFC. Coming up, week 1, NFL. We made it. And the Cowboys and the Eagles, so many different opinions. This line has moved in favor of Philadelphia, and we'll see if that's the right side or if the total's the right side. That is coming up. Eagles Cowboys preview up ahead right here on Locked On Bets. Locked On Bets continues here on a Thursday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. And the first Thursday of September, week 1 of the NFL preseason finally behind us. We can look ahead to the regular season. And we have a game tonight in Philadelphia, Cowboys, Eagles, and is our second lock of the day.
Open it, open it, open it! Lee has the key to the lock of the day.
So many different storylines, Lee, heading into this game. The Micah Parsons trade, he's now in Green Bay, so he's not with the Cowboys anymore. Dak Prescott trying to bounce back after missing the last half of last season with a hamstring injury. And, of course, the Eagles coming off a Super Bowl victory, a blowout over the Chiefs. Philadelphia routed Dallas twice last year. With all that being said, Lee, your thoughts on the Cowboys and the Eagles kicking off the 2025 NFL season?
So when I look at a game, I try to estimate what I think the line will be and the total will be, and try to envision, after I've studied it, what's going to happen. So we know a lot about these two teams, more than a lot of college teams. We know that Philadelphia is really good, but lost some key players. Lost on the offensive line. Becton. But on defense, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson, cornerbacks Isaiah Rodgers, and Darius Slay. Those are some huge losses. For Dallas, Micah. I mean, on defense, that's a huge loss here. I thought that Dallas did a decent job on the offense, making that, I think it's going to be a more explosive offense. But, they're going to have to win some high-scoring games here. And I think the same proves true for Philadelphia without all those key players. And a lot of those guys made some huge plays down the stretch for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think the line is pretty good. I could see Philadelphia winning like 34-27. And with that being the case, I think the total, people are going to see 47.5, and they're going to go like, 27-20 game, I still win, even if it goes that high. Well, I just think that both defenses are going to struggle, and both offenses are going to be really good out of the gate, experienced quarterback. So it's not like they haven't come off playing very little in the preseason and playing the first game of the year. So I think CeeDee Lamb's going to have a huge game. I think the Dallas running backs might be a little underrated. They have a good tight end, acquired Pittsburgh's best receiver, and just think that Philadelphia's offense, they have a couple guys at the wide receiver position that are practically unguardable here. The crowd's going to be pumped. I think we're going to see something like a 34-27 game. And with that being the case, we're going to go over 47.5 total points. It's going to be a level 2 lock.
They scored 13 points last year, the Cowboys against the Eagles. But again, there was no Dak in those games. So that's, it was so one-sided in each of those games when, say what you want about Dak, it's still better than any backup they have. And now with George Pickens in the fold, alongside CeeDee Lamb, that there should be a lot of chances for explosive plays like you mentioned. And we'll see also on the Philadelphia side if Saquon can keep up what he did last year, over 2,000 rushing yards. Also, Kellen Moore now gone because he left to go to the Saints, be their head coach. So also curious to see how that goes. Philadelphia, they're still okay, and they keep rolling through all these coordinators that keep getting head coaching jobs.
Yeah. I don't know how it happens, but it keeps happening. When you have success, people want to find who's successful for you and who's doing a good job and pluck them. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of assistants who call plays or coordinators, just like in the real world, they're real good salesmen, but they're not, good managers. Same thing in the NFL. They're good, on the sidelines, good making the calls, but maybe not good overseeing the whole team. So it's going to be a fun start. I'm going to make a prediction. We're going to see one major injury to a quarterback in the first week, and someone is going to trade, for a backup quarterback. I don't know who it's going to be. Might be someone's going to have a stopgap result. They're going to realize, hey, we're in trouble here, and they might have to, give up a third, fourth rounder. Whereas, if they wait a little bit, let's say, someone like Tua gets hurt for the Dolphins, he goes down. They realize they want to keep the fans in the stands and at least try to get to 500. Whereas, let's be honest, you lose your starter, you're pretty much done for the year. So not many teams that can overcome that. It's going to be a fun first weekend of the NFL, and it all starts tonight.
Yeah, and then you have Chiefs-Chargers tomorrow in Brazil. That should be a lot of fun. And then a full slate Sunday, Ravens-Bills, the Sunday night game, and then Vikings-Bears on Monday night to wrap it up. Lee, busy, again, huge weekend, so Paramount Sports will be busy as well with the NFL and college football.
Yep, they want to get involved. Go to the website, ParamountSports.com, and also visit us. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and look up Paramount Sports. I do free videos there. If you can subscribe there, we appreciate you doing that for us. Also, go to YouTube and subscribe to Locked On Bets. 3 words, Locked On Bets, and hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you taking the time each and every day to follow us, and we're doing our best. Put out 5 selections for you tonight. We're going to have another college and NFL game tomorrow for you, plus probably another UFC and selection there, and also a baseball play. So we're putting it out for you. I think we're going to come back and have a good end of the week here. So you want to get involved a couple different ways. We have 5 selections for the UFC, $35, and one of these underdogs that I'm putting out, a big underdog, even bigger than the Imavov play, is going to come through. It's going to be a rare best bet, major wager best bet as a 35 unit. You can get back, if you're putting $100, probably close to $200 on that wager. 5 selections, $35. Football selections, we rate our plays from 10 to 50 units. I have a 40 to 50 unit play there. And if you want to get that, get all my plays for the rest of September, use coupon code SAVE100, just $397, comes out to less than $100 a weekend. Everything's up and available. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
And you can find us on X as well, Lee at Paramount Sports and myself at Rogers Picks. And we'll be back with you coming up on Friday for more football picks, both college and the NFL, going into the weekend. For Lee Sterling, I am Kevin Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in to Locked On Bets right here on the Locked On Podcast Network.